Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have not been here before, this is where I like to talk about what it's like living with a disability and the ongoing mental health issues that accompany such a thing. And hopefully, at some point, my favourite thing of all, which is riding these waves, being a bit of a surfer when I can. And right now I'm here in Portugal. I'm near the city of Porto, which is actually way over there. Right, about as far as you can see, really. If you look on the map, you would think I'm still in Porto, but actually, south of the River Douro, which I'll film another day, it's a city called Gaia. More of a town, really. I don't know why they call it a city. But it's very nice. It's very peaceful and quiet and beautiful. I really like it. I've been coming here since 2019 now. I remember the first time I came out to this little place here, and it was getting dark. Didn't really know where the hell I was. I have actually told a different story elsewhere about my first trip here, but I'm not going to dwell on that because it's a little bit sad. But I came here, I remember walking out to the end of this little stone jetty. In fact, I'm going to walk back a few steps because I do really like it out here, being amongst all the waves. It's a bit risky, but I'll be careful. I just remember standing here and just thinking how beautiful it was, how peaceful it felt. And there was a little bit of sadness. It made me think of my brother, David, and how much he would have liked it here. I think he would have really liked it here. He did enjoy his travels. And like David, I travel alone. I'm really not into group holidays, which is weird, I know. But going with the group can be great. I have done it and I have enjoyed it. But if he was to give me a choice, I would go on my own. Because the itinerary then is for me to decide. And there's always someone you can talk to. Depends on where you go, I suppose. If it's like 2 weeks in the Amazon jungle, then maybe not so. But don't know whether you can see it. There's two little heads bobbing around in the water over there. We've got some surfers. And I might actually know one of them as well. I think Bernardo may be there. So you'll meet him in a different video. Bernardo's the guy who's been teaching me since I first started surfing. And he's a great guy. He's really cool. But you can't really see from here. And I'm not comfortable enough with this gimbal to use the zoom function without completely screwing up the video. So I'll try and catch a glimpse of him at some other point. But in the meantime, let's chat. Let's get down from this causeway. These stones here I kind of know pretty well, but when you get to the end of it, the sea's really rough. And because this isn't like the Mediterranean, this is the Atlantic, this is the real thing. Today it's been pretty well behaved, but when a big storm comes in, it trashes these boulders like you wouldn't believe it. I mean, you can see where they've all kind of collapsed into sea down there. So that was part of this sea wall, and the ocean just comes along and washes them away like they're nothing, flicks them away like pebbles. And it's always quite a sobering reminder that although the ocean is very, very beautiful, it really doesn't care about you. And getting incautious around these waters will get you in trouble very fast, like really fast. The first time I came here, I naively got on my swimming shorts and walked along this exact same strip of beach. Look at this, it's just beach for miles and miles and miles and miles. And where we're heading now, some rocks in the distance, that's where I thought I'd take the plunge. And the waves were probably a bit bigger than this, I think, but not much. And I got in, I was ducking and diving in and out of the waves and having fun. And all of a sudden I raised my head out of the water and realised I was about 100 metres out. I got caught in a riptide. Not a powerful one, thankfully. So a riptide, for those of you who don't know, is where basically the water that's coming in from the waves needs an egress point. It's got to go somewhere. so it flows back out to sea in little streams and channels. It's usually where you'll see like a sort of elongated patch of foam, like actually right in front of us. There's a slow current taking the water back out, and they're stronger than you think. And if you get caught in one, they can take you a fair old distance. They usually go around in circles. They'll tend to like recirculate back into the system. So if you're patient and calm down and line your back and tread water, it'll usually carry you back to shore. But you've got to stay calm. The last thing you want to do is panic. Well, actually, the first thing you don't want to do is to try and swim directly back against the rip current, because it's stronger than you ever will be, and it will win. And you'll basically die of exhaustion. You'll drown. So, yeah, it's a tourist beach. It's popular. It's beautiful. I love it. But shit, you've got to be careful. If you look how steep the beach is in places here, I'm not sure that it's really apparent on the camera. But you'll obviously walk down to that waterline there, which I'm not going to do because the sneaker wave will come and get me. I'm below top edge here, so that's quite a drop, and you can see that the tide will come right up there on the very high tide times. So if the tide's high and you come out and you want to go for a paddle and you think you're going to be stood in like 6 inches of water after walking for a quarter of a mile, like when you're at St Helens or Lytham or Blackpool, yeah, you're in for a shock. You're going to be in very deep water very, very quickly. And every single time I walk along this beach, a bloody sneaker wave comes and gets me. For the uninitiated, a sneaker wave is a wave that basically goes a lot farther than all the others are going. See, that was a little bit of a sneaker wave there, a little one. But they always catch you out. And you think, oh, it's just going to go up to my ankles, and it doesn't, it goes above your knees. And if you're not careful, if you're weak, unprepared, you get swept away. Water is, I believe water is 3,000 times denser than air, so that should give you some sense of proportion. That's a lot of power when that stuff's moving. So you can love the ocean, but don't expect it to love you back too much. Be careful around it. It's as wild as any wild animal you'll find in the jungle. So, moving on to what my channel is about. Disabilities, mental health, etc, etc. Quick disclaimer, I am not a doctor, not a nurse, I have no professional medical training, so when I'm talking about health issues on this channel, I'm giving you my opinion, and that's all it is. It's just my opinion, whether it's right or wrong. If you have health problems, then you need to go and seek professional help from your GP, from A&E if it's an emergency, or maybe just call 111 in the UK. You may just have a bout of flu and want some advice. Don't take any advice from me though. I'm not a doctor, okay? So you have been warned. Anyway, the first time I came here, I was actually physically in prime condition. No disability whatsoever. Oh, somebody's written something in there. What's it written? Can you make that out? What the hell does that say? Well, it's probably written in Portuguese anyway. Yeah, I was as fit as a fiddle. And, friends will attest to the fact that I have always kept myself fit, which turned out to be a good thing in the long run. And had my first few surfing lessons here and picked up my first bumps and bruises off my surfboard. Got dumped by the waves countless times. Surfing is way harder than it looks if you've not tried it. It's difficult. And I came back from that holiday really thinking, yeah, that's it. I love this. I'm going to be a surfer. I'm going to come here as much as I can and I'm going to surf and surf and surf. Then COVID came and the whole world went mad and locked down. and it just wasn't worth the effort getting on a plane, to be honest, for me personally. It's a matter of preference, and I respect your choices, so respect mine. So it kind of went on hold for a bit. Then just as the COVID emergency started to subdue, which would have been late 21, something like that, then early 22, that's when I started to develop a disability called functional neurological dystonia. And it's a pain in the arse, it really is. You'll see in other videos, it tilts my head and rotates it, and makes it very hard to look straight forward. It makes me look very kind of distinctive when I'm walking along the road. People keep stopping and staring, not unkindly, but you stand out, that's for sure. If there's one thing I've discovered when you have a disability, is that actually the vast majority of people are very kind. They're really good. So when you're reading stories about somebody being mean to people with disabilities, trust me, it's not typical. It's rare. That doesn't make it right, but at least it's rare. So yeah, so I came down with this horrible condition, and I had a bit of a mental breakdown, which is documented in the previous videos, so I won't go into detail about it, because it's grim, it's a depressing story. But by mid-23, I was kind of over the worst of it psychologically, and I decided it was time to start trying to live a normal life again. And what would be the best way to start that? Well, you start in style on a grand scale. You go surfing, don't you? So I came back to the same Airbnb with the same instructor and the same lady running the Airbnb, Susanna, my good friend, and her two dogs who keep bullying me, Ollie and Nana. And I sneak them bits of cheese when Susanna's not working. I call them the Cheese Mafia. A title well earned, believe me. And I got stuck into it again. So I've got this routine that I'm going to maintain for as long as I can, where I come and stay throughout May and then September every year. And part of that time I'm officially working from abroad. I always get permission because I'm a good boy. And then the rest of the time I'm on holiday. So that's pretty much how I use all my leave these days. Come here and I go surfing. The one beach I haven't surfed is the one I'm stood on, actually. You can't really see it now because the tide isn't far out enough, but it's very rocky, this beach. When these waves go out a bit further, you'll see it. Basically, what you can see ahead of you in the distance, that rocky outcrop there, is recreated further along and all along this stretch here, all along here. So it can be dangerous to swim for that reason as well. And definitely a risky place to go surfing. But God, it's beautiful. I love Portugal. Ah, tripped on my stick. I love the people. I think they're really nice. They're good people. Good people, definitely. Very friendly. And it's been great for my emotional well-being, my psychological health, mental health, whatever you want to call it. I always feel an awful lot better when I'm here. And the condition I've got, the dystonia, it's kind of like half physical, half psychological, psychiatric rather. So the symptoms are tied to my emotional state. So the more stressed I am, the harder it is to control. So there's certain places I just don't like going, like funerals and things like that. I've been to far too many funerals now. And conversely, when you come here, it's beautiful, it's peaceful. It's good for me physically. The symptoms don't completely dissipate. I'm a hell of a lot better. And just the fact that you're somewhere nice, like this, takes your mind off it, whether it's affecting you or not, really. And then when I get the surfboard out and paddle out onto the waves, I'm too busy trying not to fall off the board to think about dystonia. It's a weird will-o'-the-wisp condition. You forget about it and it disappears. And then you notice that it's disappeared. So you think about it, so it comes back. It does that a lot. It's really strange. And I can understand why some doctors don't really believe in it. But it's a real condition. Trust me, there's plenty of people out there who've got it. In some people it's more subtle than it is in others. In some people it's far more severe. So, yeah, holiday starts here. Did my last day of work here today. And it was a frigging catastrophe this morning. It was a cracking way to sign off. Dramatic, you know? Everything went wrong and my poor colleague was doing his best to help me. As he always does. He's a great guy, even though I make fun of him from time to time. But it's over now. So I've got a few weeks of peace and quiet and surfing and reading and relaxing, and I'll do a bit of tourism. I've got some of the videos that I recorded quite a long time ago, back in, oh God, I don't know, I think it was 23, of the city of Porto itself, so I might upload those. Well, the weather was a bit crap. Just get quite a lot of rain here. But it's okay, it's always warm. God, just look at that. Yeah, I know, it's just a beach, but it's still beautiful. Anyway. So yeah, great for my mental health. I always look forward to it. I always feel a bit down in the dumps when I know it's time to go. But it's worth it. You gotta have reasons to keep going. I've talked about purpose and meaning in my videos, and my purpose and meaning is all tied up in informing people about what it's like to be like this, and demonstrating that you can find meaning in life by being helpful to others, by following healthy, active pursuits. I mean, when I tell people I do surfing, some of them look at me a bit funny, like, yeah, you must be mental. But I get a lot of respect for it, mainly. It's like, oh, wow, you haven't let this horrible condition hold you back. And I've tried not to. Sometimes I've faltered and I've stumbled and I've let myself down. Some days I've just hidden under the duvet because I couldn't cope. I'm not pretending that I've got it all figured out and I never make a mistake and I overcome every hurdle. No, I fall. I fall just as easy as anybody else, physically and metaphorically. The main point is that I get back up and have a go. It's not about success or defeat. It's about the time you spend doing it. It's about the process. Basically, it's a quote from a Rocky movie. You know, how many times you can get hit and keep pushing forwards and all that kind of thing. I know it's cheesy, but there's a reason they put that in every movie. It's because it's true. Look at these two maniacs. Do like doggies. Anyway, how long have I been filming for? 20 minutes? Alright, I'll walk for a bit. I'll keep going until we hit these rocks and I'll probably sign off at that point. I did promise a video. This should have been released days ago, really. But boy, what a week it's been. I've just been busy and tired, so apologies for keeping you waiting. I'm sure you found other things to do in the meantime. God, it's nice here. If I ever manage to put the money together, I'm coming here and I'm going to live here. Hi, doggies. Hey, birdie. Dogs are awesome. They just don't give a shit. They just live in the moment. Yesterday, one of the dogs where I was staying lived in the moment a bit too much and ran in front of the car. Fortunately, she wasn't seriously injured. She managed to kind of duck out of the way, but she's hurt like the legs on the left side, I think, the front and the rear left leg. So she's kind of hobbling around in a cast and bandages and feeling a bit sorry for herself. And she's a rescue dog, so she's always kind of timid and nervous anyway. She likes peace and quiet, really. Any sudden noises tend to upset her. So being hit by a car, she was pretty traumatised yesterday, you could tell. And she had to take refuge in my chalet for a while until the vet came, because her best friend, the other dog who lives here, is called Ollie, and he's a really big dog, big strong black fella, and he's totally harmless. He's very gentle, really, but he makes a lot of noise. And Nana didn't really need him hoying her to death at that point. She was so miserable and tired, and you could see she was in pain, the poor little thing. So she hid out in my chalet until we could get her to doggy hospital. And today she's back home all wrapped up in bandages, and I think they're improvising a little kind of a little wheeled carriage you can push yourself around on. So if they manage to make that, I'm going to be making a video about that, because that's going to be funny to see. So I'm really looking forward to making some more videos for you guys. Hoping to get some footage of somebody on the surfboard somewhere. I'll do it eventually. Been talking about it for a year. The problem with filming surfers is that you don't really surf on the beach. When you actually watch where they are, look at these guys, they're quite far out. Beach breaks can be quite dangerous because the waves can dump you on your head on the sand, and that's not fun. I've had that, and it's an unpleasant experience. I wouldn't recommend it at all to anybody. So usually find the reef breaks are better. That's where out there there'll be a big stony outcrop somewhere, and the waves will be getting formed over that reef. So that's why you'll see the white water breaking in the middle of the sea. And they're the good places to surf, because if you get dumped in deep water, and that's a lot safer. Has other risks, but generally it's safer, all in all. There we go, centre up. There's a couple of people next to me, and they were giving me a nasty stare because I was interrupting their smoochy session. I'm not going to film them. They were just waiting for me to piss off. It was quite funny though. Looking at them like, what are you doing? Why are you filming us? You perv. I don't think it was on camera. I hope it wasn't. I'm not interested in making people feel uncomfortable, because I know that feeling too well. So yeah, a fairly short video today, talking about me and surfing and what it's like to be here. I think the theme today was really about mental and emotional fortitude, which are terms that I stole from a guy over at Project 180. Great terms. You need them. But like anything else, it's like exercising a muscle. You need to practice with it. You need to make yourself do things. And if it's stuff that's overwhelming and it's too much, you have to make yourself do the little bits of it and normalise it. Then you can start aggregating those little bits into bigger bits, and eventually you get stronger emotionally and mentally, and you can endure greater amounts of adversity and struggle, which we all face in our lives, whether we're healthy or unhealthy, or wealthy or poor or strong or weak. Life's hard for everybody at some point. Don't care who you are. Could be the most pampered person on earth. You're still going to come up against something at some point. You're going to hit a wall one day, and it'll test you. And I failed a few tests in my time, but I passed a lot of them as well. And I pass more of them as I get older. God damn it. Ow, just stub my toe. Ow. Like that, for example. Like stubbing my toe on a rock. Oh, that hurt. But there you go. There's an opportunity to display mental fortitude by not sitting down and crying my frigging eyes out, because that was quite painful. So I'm just going to get my way up onto this boardwalk. One thing I love about this beach, and pretty much every beach in Portugal, and Portugal has a lot of beaches, is it's only to walk there before you come across maybe a beautiful restaurant like this, or a smaller cafe, just every few hundred meters sometimes, rarely more than half a mile. So the Portuguese really live for the sea, and they love the seafood more than I love it, to be fair. I had freshly caught squid here one year, and it was disgusting. It was awful, but generally it's okay. So I'm going to sign off here. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Get my breath. I've got my steps in for the day. I've got a link to buy me a coffee on the description of this video. If you feel it was worth a bit of a donation for the time I took to make the video, it's very much appreciated. I'm not trying to get rich doing this. I'm far more interested that people share this video, so that you can say, look, here is a guy who has no reason to put himself out there and try and lead a normal life. He could be in bed thinking of himself as permanently disabled, but he decided to live I'm out of breath. He's decided to live his life as well as he fucking well can, for as long as he can. And I don't regret any of it. This is a beautiful world, folks. And remember this one thing: these are the good days. These are the good days, folks. Goodbye.